Mr. Miglino, I'm going to move to the first public comment period. And the first speaker I have is Jackie Breton.
Hi, I just wanted to say thank you for hearing
Jackie,
all of us tonight.
Bring the mic down a little bit. There you go. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you for hearing all of us tonight. And I wanted to talk about some of the homeless issues, and one is bathrooms. And I know this is an issue that we've talked about numerous times over the last couple of years, and I don't think there's been too much done to provide bathrooms. And in the plan, I haven't actually seen the center plan, but I'm hoping there's going to be bathrooms in the center when it's built or renovated. And the other thing is, I've been working with Homeless Action, and we have talked to a lot of homeless people, and they have expressed the need for bathrooms to be more important than housing. And housing is an issue that is seasonal for most homeless people, but going to the bathroom every single day is an issue. And I really think there needs to be more focus on that to provide that. Another thing I just wanted to say, that in the paper today there was the homeless death, like Mr. Corsi spoke of this earlier, and that we need to do something to have a plan for the winter for the homeless people. And I think the Nomad plan that the churches are doing is such a great job, and I really hope that this certification or whatever it is you're trying to do for all these churches doesn't really interfere with that. And the other thing I just wanted to say, excuse me, is the Water District building, which is on College Avenue, where there's an encampment right now of homeless people. And I don't know if the City Council has considered of that area, the acreage there, to be used for a resource for homeless people. It could provide housing. They could have clinics there. There's all sorts of things that could be done there without having to build buildings from the ground up. And all of the proposals that we have heard is somewhere down the road we're going to build houses, or we have an empty lot somewhere and we'll figure out how to put a house or something on it. But everything is right there at that building, and there could be so many things that would help people and maybe take some of the homeless people away from the downtown area, which has been a detriment to the businesses here. So I really hope somebody will take a look at that, because I think there's a lot of potential there.
Thank you. I think Linda Picton left earlier. Yes. Michael O'Toole, followed by Eileen Bill.
Honorable Mayor, council members, I'm here to talk on the homeless issue, as I always am. I'm a co-organizer of Camp Michaela, which is now at the Sonoma County Water District building. We've been there 2 months. We are a stellar example of what can be done with homelessness. I came here a couple of times earlier in the year and talked to you about the possibility of something like this happening. We have proven that it is a cost-effective way to address the issue. It has a tangible outcome. I hear that possibly the city, Julie, I guess, last week made a reference toward doing something possibly with tents, with the safe parking. From what I understand, it's going to be a takedown, put up. That won't work. Having people put up tents at night in the rain and take them down in the morning in the rain ain't going to work. Our formula, if you would look at it, and I've actually, when we went out to the Water District, I sent emails to all of you inviting you to come see what we're doing. I still extend that, not only to you, but to the general public. Again, we have done an amazing job out there. The neighborhood has accepted us. They bring their kids over. They play in our lot. They bring meals over. They engage us. We've had very little bad feedback from the community. All the press we have gotten has been pretty much positive. I really, really encourage you to look at this model. The county is, But that's just for the county. For the city of Santa Rosa, there are a lot of homeless people here. I work with them every day. I work at Interlink, and I work with them every day. And they need something, and this is an answer. And it's an immediate answer. It's an answer that will work. And our process, our formula that we have created works. And I would encourage you to engage us. Again, I encourage you also to come out and see what we're doing. It's amazing. It's amazing the community that we have. That's what you have to have. You have to have a buy-in from the homeless and community. And that's what we have. We have accountability, community. It's just amazing how well this worked, and so fast. Again, I would encourage you to come see what we're doing. I mean, again, I'm one of the organizers, and I really think you would be amazed at what you see.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Eileen Bill, followed by Peter Cherneff.
Hi, I just wanted to basically ditto what Jackie has already said. And I know we're going to be talking about the shower bus pretty soon, which is a great idea, but it certainly won't satisfy the needs of 2,000 to 3,000 people who do not have homes. So I agree we need more bathrooms, more public bathrooms for everybody. It's for the respect and dignity of all the people, and of course the sanitation problems. So if you can see your way to add more public bathrooms, more porta potties, and to monitored at night if that's what they need, but open 24 hours a day, I would appreciate it, and I think the community would appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you. Peter Cherneff, followed by Dwayne DeWitt.
Peter Chernoff, good evening again. And I think that the one percenters, the corrupt one percenters, should in fact be very afraid of American veterans. Because what happened in San Francisco has got ripples that are affecting all of California's veterans. It was in the paper the other day, San Francisco Zionist associated big shots forcing vets out of the War Memorial Veterans Building. Almost all of our taxes end up in a military budget or in the pockets of lawyers or are sent to Israel. Well, you don't hear of any people in Israel that are homeless, but you hear of plenty of American veterans that are homeless. That does not compute. That is not acceptable. A good guy, Quentin Kopp, says of these thieving Zionist supporters seeking to vanquish veterans, he says it contradicts the purpose for which that specific building was created. The most decorated Green Beret of all time, Bo Wright, says we got one more hill to take, Capitol Hill. They should be afraid of the veterans, which is why they've spent billions of dollars over the years with 100 patented mind control technologies through all cell phones, all the chemicals and pharmaceuticals, to keep them subserviently acquiescent. The Zionist orchestrated Vietnam. So, what do? The veterans get ready to shut down D.C. and these one percenters. You know, regarding the Holocaust and the so-called deniers, well, no one denies that between 80 to 200 million indigenous people have been genocided in North America. But there's no never-ending proliferation of movies like it is for the alleged Jewish Holocaust. The second greatest was actually the Holocaust in the Ukraine. They're over there by Russia, 7 million. And every day in America, we slaughterhouse 14 million beautiful, terrorized sentients that are throat cut. And again tomorrow. And be clear to who's listening, I'm not anti-Semitic, but be crystal clear that I am anti-satanic. And that's who be ruling AIPAC and the Zionists, so too most all organized religions. And I am certain that atrocities happened in Germany because my uncle was in the SS and he was executed by the SS. And I've known and spoken to people that were seniors with tattoos. Yeah, things happened there, but there was no 6 million, not even close. There's so much information that's beyond even talking about. Now, the Mossad, they just blew up this jet that was headed to Russia. They orchestrated 9/11. They're not even Jews. They are satanic servants. Good Jews are good Jews, just like good people that are Christians are good Christians. But we need to identify who is who, and we need to shut down our monies into those arenas because I need 30 more seconds like you give everybody else. So we need to
Madam
shut
City
down.
Clerk, would you cut the mic, please? Thank you.
To shut it down by boycott and strike because the power and authority is theirs to do so.
I'd like to use the overhead again. Also, I'd like to ask you to please not be afraid of veterans. There's some smiling veterans right there.
Make sure you get to the mic.
Hello, my name is Dwayne DeWitt. I'm from Roseland. What I just said to you folks was please do not be afraid of veterans. There's some smiling veterans right there. And we'd like to ask you to Veterans Day, a week from tomorrow, the celebration is held right out here at the Vets Memorial that was built with a veteran that served here on this council, helping to give it some impetus, Bob Blanchard, who himself had been in the Army. So I've brought some nice reading material that I'm going to give to you after I point out that the time of that event is at 10:30 in the morning. It's on a Wednesday, and most folks are working that time. But it's a holiday. A week from tomorrow, Wednesday morning, 10:30 in the morning, right downtown down here. We invite all of you to come. We invite everybody in the community to come. There's no reason to be afraid of veterans. Veterans are doing a service to this community and have done a service to this country that I feel should not be denigrated in the various ways that some people talk about us. With that in mind, I know that I have bothered some folks here because sometimes I don't go along to get along, and I know that that is bothersome in politics. But I wanted to point something out today so that everybody will not feel insulted. They'll understand where I was coming from. This is where the meetings of the downtown subcommittee are held. It's upstairs, not in this room. To a person who doesn't know City Hall, room 10 is a back room. To a person who doesn't know that when the door is closed, a meeting is still open, that just speaks for itself. The meetings are held at 8:30 on a Tuesday. Most of the people I know are working on those days. I work weekends. I work odd shifts so I can come here and spend some time with you occasionally. So nothing I've said has been said to insult any of the things that occur. It's just basically that's a difficult meeting to get to unless you're already part of the city's situation. I put myself on a number of lists to be informed about that steering committee, and I was on a downtown task force 20 years ago coming to meetings. You get invited if they want you there. You got to sing with the choir to be a part of it. I understand all that. But the thing is, here in America, you can dissent. It's not like communist China yet. It's not like communist Russia, Iran, Syria, or other places. We still got a good nation, one I'm proud to defend, and I'd do it again. As a matter of fact, maybe we need an old bald guy's Martyrs Brigade where we'll go take care of folks. All the best to you. Hope you enjoy the read.
Mr. Wigglin, 13.2.
Item 13.2, report amendment to the Homeless Outreach Services Team host program agreement to allow for the purchase and operation of a mobile bathroom shower trailer. Kelly Kuykendall, program specialist, presenting.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Good evening. I'm Kelly Kuykendall, Program Specialist with the City's Department of Housing and Community Services. The item before you seeks approval of the First Amendment to grant agreement for the Homeless Outreach Services Team program. which, if approved, would allow for the purchase and operation of a mobile bathroom shower trailer to be utilized as an outreach tool to further engage homeless persons into supportive services as part of the HOST program. To provide you with some background, on August 11th, Council conducted a study session to review restroom options for the unsheltered, including the following: city-owned facilities, portable toilets with hand washing stations, a mobile bathroom shower trailer, and no changes, use existing engagement tools. The study session also provided information on the costs, benefits, and concerns for each of the options for council consideration. At the close of the study session, At the close of the study session, council directed staff to pursue the mobile bathroom shower trailer option to align with HOST engagement efforts and directed staff to return with a contract and budget for their consideration. Also on August 11th, Council approved a grant agreement for the HOST program with Catholic Charities in the amount of $415,000. The amendment provides for $87,450 for purchase and operation of the mobile bathroom shower trailer. The costs are detailed in the slide as follows: $36,000 for the purchase of the trailer, $51,450 for operational costs. The $415,000 already approved by council plus the current request results in a total of $502,450. The HOST term is to June 30th, 2016. Catholic Charities is proposing to operate the trailer 3 times per week, providing up to 90 showers as follows: once per week at the City Hall parking lot, and rotating 2 times per week at Juilliard Park, Doyle Park, and Youth Park. Catholic Charities is also discussing placing the trailer at a site along the Joe Rodota Trail and the Vets building with the county. Persons experiencing homelessness lack access to basic services such as bathrooms, creating health, safety, and environmental impacts. Staff has determined that the proposed use may be permitted without the requirement of a temporary use permit, and that emergency public health and safety needs or activities conducted on public property may be permitted by the council pursuant to the city zoning code. Before I move on to questions, I'll talk about the recommendation. So it's recommended by the Department of Housing and Community Services that council by resolution approve the First Amendment with Catholic Charities to allow for the purchase and operation of a mobile bathroom shower trailer in the amount of $87,450, bringing the total grant under the agreement to $502,450. This concludes my presentation. Jenny Lynn and I are happy to answer any questions that you have.
Great. Thank you very much. Council, questions? Mr. Vice Mayor.
Thank you. Ms. Kuykendall, could you go back to the slide that shows the locations for, I don't see the West End Railroad Square neighborhood on there, and it seems like that's an area that's particularly impacted, and just wonder why that's missing from the list.
That's a good question. At this point in time, we've just identified city sites to facilitate getting this program up and running, or areas that are owned by the city. And the focus of the program is downtown, I know, which could be extended to include the West End neighborhood. The budget is, the $51,450 is based on a 12-month contract, and we have 8 months left in this contract. So one thing we could consider once this is up and running, depending on how successful it is, we could consider adding a site in that neighborhood.
Okay. Is there a lack of city property in that area to actually place something over there?
I don't know that it's lacking. I'm not aware of specific sites in that neighborhood. We could look into that.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Schwedhelm.
Thank you. I had a similar question. So with the contract, does it give the flexibility? It looks like we're targeting 90 showers, and I'm guessing that's just kind of an estimate because we've never done this before. Would that be correct?
Yes, it is an estimate. This is a pilot program, so
along with the other pilot program we heard about last week, the CHAP program, Does this, or would this have the flexibility to potentially visit those sites if, again, that's where the need is?
Yes.
And who would be able to make the decision to allow that? Is that a Catholic Charity decision or someone with the city?
Well, we would consult with Catholic Charities on that to see their capacity and try to stay within the budget that's approved by council. If for some reason we needed to go beyond that, we'd have to come back to council for consideration.
Okay. And then also, I know when this was first presented or broached back on August 11th, the cost was $74K. Now it's up to $87,000. Could you share with us the increase?
Yes, I'm prepared to respond to that. So I did look back at the numbers that were presented to council at the study session on August 11th, and at that point in time, the estimate that staff presented did not account for the ADA, making sure that the trailer is ADA accessible, so that's an additional $6,000. And then I built into the budget a contingency of 10%, which is about $8,000 that's in the agenda item. So that would make up the difference between the 74,400 and the 87,450.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Wysocki.
I do have a follow-up on Mr. Schwedhelm's questions, which I think were very appropriate. Pilot program, 90 showers, and we have an estimated 3,000 homeless, so we're not really getting more than 3%. We don't expect to get more than 3% of the homeless showered. Why do I think there's going to be a lot of lines for these showers and we might not be able to accommodate that? I guess I'm looking for elaboration on that. I'm skeptical.
It's a good question, and of the options that were presented to council on August 11th, this was the best option, I think, specifically for the engagement tool, and we all know that the need is greater than that. I'd let Jenny Lynn speak to, anticipating what that need might be and the lines that they might be having at the trailer.
Yes, when we originally put together the budget, it was to budget dumping 3 times a week. That's where a lot of the operational cost is, the dumping of the shower, water, and restroom items after it's used. So we budgeted at dumping 3 times a week. We think that we have 30 showers per dump. That's kind of our estimate right now. If we wanted to do more, we could easily do that, but the operational dollars would go up. One thought is that if this pilot is proven successful, the money we use for the one-time investment in the trailer could go to bumping up the number of sites we use next year to increase the times. I do think there could be a very long line. It's really going to be dependent on the way we get the word out, which we will be doing a lot of. But if you look at other communities like San Francisco that did a lot of VMA, it was highly utilized. So we definitely, depending on how the demand comes, might be coming back for additional options.
Thank you.
Ms. Karlstrom.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I know that we went through this in August, but it bears repeating. Our contract with Catholic Charities, our $415,000, what are we getting for that?
I have the contract here. Let me just pull it up. Do you? Okay.
I was going to say, I have it memorized at this point.
I was looking at you, Jenny Lynn.
There's a lot in it. I'll kind of highlight some of the bigger items, and there's also some smaller items as well. The biggest is, the largest chunk in there is actually $250,000 for housing. And housing kind of comes in a few forms. One is permanent rapid rehousing. Another is actually putting people into temporary housing situations, such as campgrounds and or hotels. And the third is helping people get back home if they were stranded here and cannot get reunited with a loved one where they do have permanent housing. We can help them by purchasing a bus ticket or a plane ticket to get back home. That's the biggest chunk of it. There's also money in there for a conservation corps, which has been wildly successful to this point. We actually pay stipends to individuals who are working with hosts and actively looking for housing. They get some money in their pocket, and they also help us clean up downtown as well as abandoned encampments. Additionally, there were funds in there to expand the outreach team to have a very dedicated presence in downtown Santa Rosa. So we have scheduled times that we're in Courthouse Square, West End, Railroad Square, all of the different locations. Additionally, there's a lot. There's some also, one of our scope of work includes coordinating the benevolent community, trying to get a community calendar going where we can let the people who are experiencing homelessness know what's going on in the community, as well as make sure that the benevolent efforts are spread out throughout the week rather than 3 lunches on Thursday and nothing the rest of the week, as well as continuing to foster cross-sector partnerships, which is kind of Host has been crossing some of those lines and continuing to foster them. I think that's the majority of everything that's in there. There might be 1 or 2 little ones I missed, but I think that's everything.
Thank you for that explanation, and especially with respect to the benevolent community. I know you were here last week as we had our conversation about the registration process that we were attempting to embark upon. So I'm glad that you were there. I'm glad that you're here now. We don't have to duplicate those conversations and the challenges of getting ahead of what everyone is doing. $87,000 for the bathroom shower trailer. We will own it.
Catholic Charities will own it.
Why?
They're equipped to run a program that addresses the needs. We as a city are not currently staffed to do so.
So we're purchasing it for them, but it will be used for us.
Correct, but again, I think that these are issues that are regional and impactful, and so I think this is as you see, we're having conversations with the county about how we can address our mutual needs in these conversations.
I appreciate that. I just wanted to understand the chain of ownership. So you'll end up carrying insurance and liability and all that. We don't maintain that. In one of your earlier responses, you indicated you would probably come back to us. I hope you will, because I hope that this is successful, and I hope that we find it in ourselves to allocate additional funds to expand even more. Where's the water going to come from?
So that's probably the way that these shower trailers, and I have a little schematic too if you'd like to see it. We specifically chose one that has 2 restrooms/showers and an additional restroom, so the restroom can stay open while other people are showering, so there's more traffic to the restroom. But the shower trailer can be hooked up to any hose line and can be filled that way. There's a water gallon tank, and we're also going to be purchasing a bladder. I've become an expert in shower trailers. It's quite interesting, but we'll be utilizing our existing water source with the city, and then there's funds in there to help pay for the water cost that comes with it. So. Okay, that was my next question, so thank you. How is the trailer powered? So the trailer it's like any trailer. We have backup generators. We can plug it in if the site has access to electricity. But if not, there's money in there to purchase a generator to allow it to plug in that way. And then we can just be very mobile, and we don't even have to plug into anything. It can be, like I said, we're thinking 30 showers per dump / needing to, pack things up, because we won't have the capacity to keep doing the 30 showers once we need to dump everything. So right now the program is envisioned to basically 3 sites per week. Currently, unless we can get more out of the water tank, but right now that's kind of what we're estimating. That's if people take 10-minute showers. It's kind of our idea. Okay. This is just another comment / suggestion to Ms. Kuykendall and to our city manager. Again, just like last week, when an item like this comes forward, there is inevitably concern in the community that that's all we're doing on that issue. So, I remember that we had, a series of conversations about what we're doing in the whole scheme of housing and shelter and services and bathrooms, but it's really useful to have it visually represented in the item, so that council is reminded, so that the public is reminded that this is all part of a large investment in the services that we're attempting to offer, really for the first time to the community. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Wysocki.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you for the presentation. I just want to follow up briefly on the trailer ownership. I understand that you own it, and I'm okay with that as long as we have a pledge that it will stay in the community for community use.
Absolutely. Any grant that we monitor, there's those stipulations in there. We're very used to complying with those things.
Just want to confirm that. And how long is the estimated useful life of such a trailer? Any idea? 5 years?
Good
10
question.
Years?
They say 5 years, so we estimate 3. That before we would need to do any heavy maintenance. We have a warranty. It would have a warranty for the first year, so we could take it in if we need to. After that, we would probably need to, again, if it's proven successful, probably bump up the maintenance budget line item. We don't have a lot in there for the first year because of the warranty.
Okay, very well. Lastly, on the fares home on the bus, is that non-refundable?
What was that question?
On the bus fare home, separate away from the trailer, you talk about your other programs. The bus fare home for people?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, that's fine. Maybe I wasn't explicit enough.
Yeah.
Are those non-refundable fares?
Yes, and it goes straight to the participant. How that process works, or not to the participant, I'm sorry, to the bus or the airline. So far we've only used bus, but we've relocated 2 households. Both of them actually were transitional aged youth that got stuck here and wanted to get back home but couldn't, and their parents couldn't afford to get them. One was Ohio. The most recent one was, I believe, Nebraska. And it's been really great. We screen so that we make sure that there's somebody on the other end and make sure that they are, going to accept them and provide permanent housing. We ask them to show us some sort of verification of their address with their name, and then we work with the participant to find the best time that would work for them. Follow up once they're there for 30 days. Continue to check in, make sure it's a stable environment for them.
Great, thank you for your explanation and your work.
Mr. Vice Mayor.
Ms. Holmes, thanks for all the work you've done to research these trailers. It sounds like you may have found the one that you want. How long before you expect to purchase this, and how long after that will we see it in the community?
Great question. So we have done a lot of research. We've looked at quite a few companies. This was the one that we felt would be most economical and also the best fit for what we're trying to accomplish. So we have assurances from them that upon receipt of the check, it would be 3 to 4 weeks. So depending on when we can go get the contract signed and everything, which I believe has already happened, we can make a check payment to them. They already know it's probably coming, so we gave them the heads up last week, and then they said 3 to 4 weeks it would be shipped in our streets, and then we could be implementing very closely after that. So I would say like a month.
Good. So how about I move to public comment? First speaker is Sheila Baker, followed by Dwayne DeWitt, but I believe he has left the chamber. So be followed by Sarah Jones.
Hello. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I am Sheila Baker, and as I previously introduced myself, I am a formerly homeless person. Thank you. From 2009 to 2012, I actually resided in 5 homeless shelters, plus my pickup truck, and that was the pickup truck experience was partially in Santa Rosa, and I got to say, this would have been beautiful. It really would have been nice to see a vehicle come along with a shower facility, and so I would have really appreciated it. I've got to say, though, I'm still kind of concerned about the bathroom issue and the porta potties, park bathrooms or whatever. So my period was before safe parking, and a little bit harrowing. I needed a bathroom or porta potty a lot. And so 3 times a week or whatever would not quite have fit it very well. So somehow, hopefully, the discussion of the porta potties, which I guess happened August 15th, can come back somehow. So I just think that there can't be enough access to porta potties and bathrooms for homeless people. Very, very important. Thank you very much, and congratulations on this really awesome project. Thank you.
Thank you. Sarah Jones. Sarah is followed by Adrian Lobby.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and City Council members. And I also want to thank your staff. The more I attend these meetings, the more I get a sense of how much you guys are doing, how overwhelming. There's so many issues. So I just appreciate all the hard work and research. I'm also here to appeal to you to revisit the need for bathrooms. I might not be up to speed. I called your office, talked to Catherine, and she went searching for me, and the only thing we could find about bathrooms for homeless people was the August 11th study session. So if there's been anything that's been voted on since then, I'm in the dark, but I'm kind of addressing things that were said at that study session. I do think this is a wonderful thing, this trailer. However, one bathroom, I know there are 2 bathrooms attached to the showers, but you're all smart enough to know that one bathroom traveling around the city is not going to take care of the needs of thousands of people who need to eliminate solid waste about once a day. And I was kind of baffled and dismayed by what I observed in the hour-long study session video, that several people talked about the health risks of that and the dignity issue, and somehow everyone was enthusiastic about the trailer, and the issue of the porta potties or open restrooms just went poof. So I just want to, I wrote down what Mr. Wysocki called for at the end of that discussion, and I would like to echo that. I would like us to keep the transit mall bathrooms open all night, provide at least one public restroom in each quadrant of the city that stays open all night, and work with benevolent community members like our church, the Unitarian Universalist, who tried to put a porta potty on our property and, were shut down pretty quickly. So, I just want to say that that is a crucial issue, and I'm not understanding why it's not being addressed. And I want to say something about the process. It was disturbing to see that the staff came in with their different options, and as Ms. Combs tried to say, well, can't we, create something that has a little bit of this and a little bit of that, like go with the trailer, but also add some porta potties or whatever. And when it came down to a vote, all I could see that you had the option of voting on were the options as the staff laid out. So please revisit that. Thank you.
Thank you. Adrian? Followed by Dana Bellwether.
Hi, good evening. Thank you. I would also like to echo that any reunification of the square should include a 24-hour bathroom, permanent bathroom. I want to recognize Flora Moore-Care, who did a thesis project for her Dominican school project on bathrooms and came to our homeless action meeting and really was pushing this idea and letting us all understand better the value of it. And although she isn't active right now in this particular project, I just want to acknowledge her efforts. I think as Homeless Action, we certainly support this. The value of having a warm shower when you've been out in the rain all night, I mean, you just can't overestimate it. The value of being able to be clean and put on a pair of clean clothes and go out in the world, that also is incredibly important. And as you have mentioned, it's a drop, and we're going to have lines and so on. I, too, would also ask you to re-agendize the whole question of bathrooms. I think we're still just kind of poking away at it and not looking at what can be done with the city bathrooms we have being open 24 hours, porta potties in the parks. One small thing we could do is work with the Finley Center and get them to open their showers so that people have another option for showers. Maybe there could be a little program where you could get a little coupon and be able to go to Finley so often every month. I would also, a couple other agenda items. It seems like, and I appreciate, Ms. Karlstrom, that you saying, hey, there's a lot going on. It doesn't all come up. And I'm running behind to catch up with you sometimes because you've got so many different agenda items. But I would like to hear an agenda item on the empty firehouse on Shanate and whether that's possible to reopen that for either shelter and or bathroom use. And the use of a city lot for safe parking. Those two, especially the city lot issue, is really a very simple thing that the city could do that could really help people. Finally, on the Camp Michaela life, I've been there morning and noon and night, and it's always very calm and peaceful. It's 20 people who support each other and are not bothering anyone. It's a really successful model. I think we could think about that as let's get 10 of these going this winter. It'd get people off the creeks. We wouldn't have these creek sweeps that are so devastating. And not as a permanent solution. I don't really want to put people in tents. I want to put people in houses. But we could do this. It cost $1,500 to start Camp Michaela. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Dana Bellwether? It's Dana. Oh, there you are. Good. Followed by Judy Weismer.
Good evening. I'm Dana Bellwether. I live in Santa Rosa, and I would like to ask the council please not to spend my tax money on hiring people to harass homeless people like they don't have enough trouble as it is. The creek sweeps are an embarrassment to I think the majority of Santa Rosa residents who pay taxes here. Please take me and other taxpayers out of the position of refusing homeless people a place to relieve themselves, and then a significant minority of taxpayers then turn around and say, ew, those homeless people are so dirty. They're contaminating our public spaces and our groundwater. Shame on them. We need at least 5 widely separated places in the city to have restrooms at least open 24/7. And I also encourage you to remember that the real solution to homelessness is homes, and I ask you to do everything at every opportunity to make adequate, affordable housing available. I'm one of the 3 volunteer advocates at Camp Michaela. I have been from the beginning. People at the camp, and there have been up to 27 for a couple of weeks, and for that matter, I've been homeless for several months in the past when a contractor bailed on me. I and people at the camp have not necessarily done anything to become homeless. A contractor bailed on me. People aren't necessarily alcoholics or other kinds of addicts or lazy or stupid. Things just happen, and there is not adequate, affordable housing in this city. That's what needs to be corrected. Please, keep this in mind when you're discussing the possibility of rent control, of converting buildings to tiny apartments. We don't need just shelters. We need apartments that people can afford to rent. Thank you.
Thank you. Judy Weisman, followed by John Jaffrey.
Good evening. My name is Judy Wismer, and I've lived in Sonoma County for 44 years. I do support the idea of the trailer with the showers and toilets, but it's not nearly enough. That's been said by several people. We really do need housing now. Plus, we need portable toilets in many parks. I personally cannot imagine sleeping outdoors, even in the summer, involuntarily. Try to imagine sleeping outside on one or more rainy, cold nights. Pretty darn uncomfortable. How far would the $10 million for the square go to start to provide housing? Where's our humanity? We need housing now and many portable toilets in the meantime. I look forward to hearing more from the county and the city about tiny houses and city or county-owned buildings that are empty to provide a roof and a safe place to be. Let's get creative and have other cities and counties visit us to see how we have solved the problem for people with no roof over their heads. Thank you.
Thank you. John Jeffrey, followed by Thomas Ells.
Well, I'm just going to add my voice to those who have already spoken in favor of considering more toilets, more bathrooms in city parks and other public places. I want to thank you for supporting the mobile trailer with the showers and bathrooms. It's a great first step, and we need to take many more steps. There certainly aren't enough toilets outside for people who are living outside. And we know that from personal experience at the Unitarian Universalist congregation because we find the evidence outside our building on a regular basis. Our members continue to help people who are homeless, and we will continue to do that until homelessness is ended in Santa Rosa and Sonoma County. But we feel that the city of Santa Rosa should be doing more to provide bathrooms for people who are living outside at night. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ells.
Hi, and thank you all for addressing this issue and bringing this. This is really great news. It's really fantastic to hear about the results of all study sessions and that you're going to actually have a trailer and a bathroom and a shower. And I just want to address the first thing I want to say is I hope that the previous last week that when you approved safe parking in the city that will actually accommodate possibly the Unitarian Church to have permitted a porta potty on their property. So last week that might be able to do that if they come and register or however that has to do that. So one more. Hey. But with regard to the shower unit, I think is great. It's a great start. If you think about it, they're 10 minutes apiece. There's 90 showers in 3 days. It's 900 minutes. Each day is 300 minutes. That's 5 hours of showers. And if you add the time of exchange and toweling and whatnot, you're looking at a 7.5 hour period of operation. It's a pretty long day. Then they have to clean it, scrub it, whatever, take it various places and fill it with water. I've looked at it pretty carefully, and not their specific unit, but in order to get 90 showers a week, that's going to be a really tough number with 3 days a week. So I would hope to approach Jenny Lynn and talk about a possible alternative to that could, because the drop-in center has 3 showers. It does 45 showers a day, so that's only 15 showers per shower unit in a 5-hour period. So that would only be 45 showers a week on 3 days a week. And as everybody else has mentioned, that really in terms of the need, in the community, that only 3 days a week, and then it being mobile and being in different places at various times, it's kind of inconvenient that people aren't that mobile to get where it is when they need to go to the bathroom. And I think many people mentioned that who were senior citizens and so on before during the comments back during the summer. And as we obtained those through Homeless Action, when I was a member of Homeless Action and we did outreach and so on, people were very supportive of showers and bathrooms. It was very important for them. It was a very high criteria, so they could be clean to go to job interviews and things like that. That many people are in fact working as they're working poor now, and as the rents go up, as we've talked about before, the rents go up. There's more and more of the working poor that can't afford. I just talked to somebody the other day. I worked for the task force for the homeless, and we get calls, and a person he had spent 5 months in Motel 6, spent $13,000 at Motel 6. I found it unfathomable, but it's true, and he had 2 jobs and couldn't afford regular housing.
Thank you, Mr. House. Those are all the cards that I have on this item. We'll bring the item back to the council. Council, any final questions or comments before we move forward? Mr. Vice Mayor.
I look forward to getting this program started. Thanks for the work on it. I would like to request that we get a report back in a fairly short period of time, short meaning a few months, of how many people are using this, how many people are if it's the case, how many people we're not able to get to, and where we're doing it. Whatever information you can bring back will be helpful. But I think this is a good program. I think it'll help, and thanks again.
Thank you, Mr. Schwedel.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I'm really thrilled that we're at this point with this, and I see there's 90 engagement opportunities, and that's what I think sets us different than having other opportunities. So I'm really interested in this. And for the city manager, I know part of the contract is that there's supposed to be some quarterly reports due, and the first one was October 10th. Will those be forwarded to council so we could track the progress of not just this, but the entire host effort?
Yes, we're in the process of clarifying that particular criteria. We did some realignment in the last 2 weeks within the organization to address this, and we're going to be actually having more frequent report outs than actually quarterly report outs.
So those would be coming from your office to this body?
Yes.
Would those also, I'm not sure from the confidentiality aspect, but could they be published on our website so others in the community could see our efforts kind of addressing, because there's a lot of things going on.
As we're moving forward on a variety of fronts, one of the things that just globally we're trying to figure out is how we report out a lot of these things. And I think respectfully, one of the things we're going to be doing on our website redesign is how we actually dashboard this type of material. So while I want to get the report out, I'm also need to be very cognizant of the impact of just doing one-offs in the existing website environment that we have right now. But we're moving towards that new space where this item is going to be these items like this will be a lot more transparent and clear for folks moving forward.
So again, I just want to. I'm really encouraged for this outreach effort because I'm hoping to see you back in front of us. I don't want to put a time frame, letting us know how wildly successful this has been, and again, just multiplying those engagement opportunities, because it may not be the first time that it goes to Doyle Park. It may be the third, the fourth, or the fifth where we see this is actually working and we're actually getting the services to the people that need it out there. So I really look forward to continuing this conversation and also continuing that cross-sector collaboration that we're engaging with, because every time we talk about this, I think we're getting more and more people to see that this community is really serious about taking some affirmative actions in this area. So thanks.
Thank you. All right, I think that about wraps it up, and I've actually just passed who had this item. Yes, Vice Mayor, you do.
I'd like to move a resolution to the Council of the City of Santa Rosa approving the First Amendment to the grant agreement for homeless outreach services team program with Catholic Charities of the Diocese of Santa Rosa to allow for the purchase and operation of a mobile bathroom shower trailer in the amount of $87,450. And I'll waive further reading of the text.
Second. Thank you. And your votes, council? And we have 5 ayes. Thank you very much.